This is probably one of the most talked about makeup reformulations that I have seen to date. We're talking today about the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, the Reformulation. Now, I did do a deep dive on my channel regarding the controversy and the reformulation of this new setting spray. I should say it's new. Yes, it is new, but we've all known and loved a version of this setting spray before. We're actually going to do a full breakdown of the new setting spray now that I have the original and I have the new reformulation. The Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, the OG one, just to go into a little bit of background for you guys, was originally formulated by Skindinavia, and it was a partnership between Urban Decay and Skindinavia, and it started way back in 2010. Well, in recent news, again, if you haven't seen that video on my channel, go check it out. It gives you all the details and it breaks it down for you. We're just kind of recapping here. Urban Decay announced that they were redoing the formulation of the all-nighter setting spray, and a lot of people were taken aback by the fact that they were stepping away from the Skindinavia formulation and they were going with a different formulation. Now, Urban Decay has marketed this as being a longer lasting setting spray with cooling technology. So I have these two on my face today, and I will show you the application process later in this video, but we're going to do a comparison between the two of these and how they apply on my face. This reformulation has led a lot of people to question if it's still good. Is it still the formulation that everybody knows and loves? Is this still going to perform the way that everybody loves it? It's been a cult favorite in makeup kits. It's won Allure's Best of Beauty Awards. Like, it's gotten so many of those. It has so many 5-star reviews. So many have been questioning whether or not the reformulation is still good. So for the sake of science, I did purchase the new reformulation of the all-nighter setting spray, and I have the old version of the all-nighter setting spray. And for science's sake, I wanted to give you guys a full look between the two of these, as well as do a wear test for you guys and see how the new formulation stacks up against the old formulation. We're going to take a look at the packaging and the claims of each setting spray, and then we're going to get into an ingredient comparison. This is the new all-nighter setting spray, and this is actually more of a clean packaging, and it does come in a 4-ounce bottle and then also the travel size bottle. They also changed the color a little bit. It still has that, you know, like that normal Urban Decay purple, but it also has this nice pink in here that is also like an ombre throughout. Now the packaging is just your typical cardboard packaging, and then it is embossed and glossed where the UD is. And then it also shows you that it has up to 24-hour wear with 24 powers. The question is, what 24 powers is that? If you look at the list of like things that it does really, really well, it says it's up to 24-hour wear, it's waterproof, flake-proof, crack-proof, smudge-proof, fade-proof, sweat-resistant, transfer-resistant. It says no makeup meltdowns, it's non-sticky, non-cakey, non-greasy, no residue. It has a blurred look, it cools the skin, it locks the makeup, it hydrates, intensifies makeup, and refines your pore appearance. It is also for all skin types, all-day hydration, breathable, super comfy, and weightless ultra-fine mist. So it actually has 23 claims on the packaging when it's saying it has the power of 24, so we're missing a claim there just to make note of. And there are not like 24 ingredients in it, so like you can't say like it's 24 power with 24 ingredients. Like there's no 24 ingredients in this as well. So let's look at the packaging on the inside. The bottle is a soft touch packaging, and it is like actually stamped with the UD on the bottle, and it is just like a very modernized bottle, I would definitely say, compared to the old formulation. You have this sans font here, and you have a sans font on the back as well, and all the fonts are the same as well. I'm noticing that the lid is actually moving like quite a bit as I'm moving it around, and it does have a purple sprayer. All right, so let's look at the original all-nighter. This was the packaging that they had recently. It is not the packaging that they like initially launched with, but it's the one that it's most known for. So here we have the packaging of the Urban Decay, and it also notes on here by Skindinavia. It says that it has a up to 16-hour wear, temperature control technology, and it is a lightweight. This is the 4-ounce size. I definitely have to say that the packaging is much more busy. Urban Decay was known for like breaking the rules in makeup at one point, which is why you can see that it has this like break the rules packaging. It's definitely more grungy feeling, and that's what Urban Decay was known for. So they have the original Urban Decay logo with the all-nighter in a cursive font. So this is also a soft touch bottle, and you also have the classic all-nighter in the cursive here. There's the Urban Decay written out on the bottle. It's not actually the UD that we normally see. The sprayer is also that purple as well with the frosted top. And then on the back, you have the ingredients with all the manufacturing information. And it does say here by Skindinavia, whereas obviously the other reformulation does not. So overall, packaging wise, I think that it was a good move to like repackage this. It definitely fits the 2025 like clean makeup aesthetic because it is a lot cleaner and it is a lot more like it's simplified in its design, whereas this one just feels really, really busy on the outside packaging. The bottles look pretty like the same. I mean, the bottles look pretty the same like when you actually open them up. I am still feeling this cap like wiggling all over the place. Honestly, there's just a lot less text on the newer one that is on the back of the formulation. I think because they had to include some different things in there with their partnership with Skindinavia on the packaging. But the purple has also changed. It was more of like a pinkish purple on the old one, and now it's more of a lilac lavender purple on the newer one, so that is something to note as well. They were more, this one's a little bit more neon purple feeling, whereas this one is a little bit more pastel feeling with the colors. So this is what the two look like together. All right, so let's talk about formulation. First thing we're going to take a look at is an ingredient breakdown between the two sprays. So we are talking the newly reformulated all-nighter setting spray versus the old formulation by Skindinavia. So the new formulation actually has way fewer ingredients than the old formulation, and that is something to note. In this new formulation, it features water, denatured alcohol, PVP, glycerin, acrylites or allyl methacrylate copolymer. Guys, if I botch these words, I'm so sorry. I am not a chemist. I am going to put the ingredients up on the screen for you guys. Phenylethanol, disopropyl adipate, chlorphenazine, trisodium ethylenediamine, disuccinate, and it has fragrance. So the ingredient list totals 10 things. Now let's look at the OG formula that was formulated by Skindinavia. This one also features water, alcohol, which is denatured PVP, dimethicone, PEG7, phosphate, PPG3, benzyl ether myristate, polydroxyl stearic acid, dipropyl glycol, isonyl isononate, ethylexyl isononate, copropyl glycol, sodium cocamidropropyl, diammonium chloride phosphate, methyl methacrylate crosopolymer, glycerate 5-lactate, phenylpropyl fragrance. And it also features more preservatives in the formula. In short, the new formulation of the all-nighter setting spray definitely has been, I would say, dumbed down. It's been simplified. It is short, it is simple, it is sweet. But does that necessarily mean that it still performs well? Certain things that have changed. Let's look at the film formers. In the old version, it had multiple polymers and cross polymers for that lightweight, super smooth finish. But in the newer version, it has mainly PVP plus acrylates copolymer, which still gives hold, but it makes it feel a little tackier. The preservatives have changed. In the old formula, it was a mix of copropyl glycol, phenopropanol, and others, while the new version is phenylexylethanol and chlorphenazine, which is a very common modern combination for preservatives that's used in 2025. And they have fragrances in both, which I will get into upon application on my face so you guys can get my 411 on what I think of the new versus old fragrance. The big question here, and something that has been marketed with the new formulation and the old formulation, But with the old formulation, it's actually patented under Skindinavia, and Urban Decay no longer has that patented formula. They have been marketing it has a cooling technology. It has a cooling effect for the new reformulation. But is that true? So we're going to look at this as well, and we're going to see if it's debunked and what the ingredients say for the new formulation versus the old formulation. Marketing claims say that it has temperature cooling and it cools your face up to 3 degrees, which in my original video, I was like, where's the scientific proof of that? I would love to know where that number came from. In reality, Skindinavia, who owns the patent, it has that cooling technology, but it is not included in the new formula. Cosmetic experts do confirm that the cooling agent in the new formula is ethanol, which is denatured alcohol, and it'll give a mild evaporation cooling effect, but nothing proprietary by any means at all. Social Buzz reports and confirms that the new spritz is noticeably milder in cooling comparison to the original formulation. Does it actually cool your skin? And the answer in short is probably no, based on the ingredients. So there is no novel or effective cooling agent. It is just the denatured alcohol. There's also glycerin in the new formulation, and it is higher up on the ingredients list, which means that it is in a higher concentration. Now, glycerin is a humectant, so it does like moisturize the skin much better. It holds water at the skin surface and slows evaporation just a little bit so that it makes your skin feel cooler slightly. There are fewer volatile silicones between the two formulations. The chill isn't as sharp or as long lasting, which I do note that, and that's something I want to, like a little sneaky peek. I do note that when I spray each side of my face, and I will show you guys as well. It isn't like a, whoa, this is like cooling my face. This is really making it feel like it's settling in and like cooling the makeup and like really setting my makeup. It doesn't feel like that with the new formulation. It's just kind of like a mist. It's there for a second and then it's gone. So I'm going to show you guys how I applied the 2 setting sprays on my face first of all. And I have them in their original packaging. So let's open this up. This is the new all-natural, all-nighter setting spray from Urban Decay. And then we have the OG formula, the one that was in like the more just like break the rule packaging. Like this one was a lot more like breaking the rules of makeup. And we have the OG all-nighter from Urban Decay with the marking by Skindinavia, just so you guys know. What I'm going to do is take a piece of paper. I'm going to take a piece of paper and cover half of my face, do the right side in the new, almost the original, the new Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. First off the bat, I can definitely say that the scent is way better than the old formula, because I remember the old formula just being like really, it smelled so bad. And the mister was actually a lot more fine and it didn't spit all over my face. So we're going to try the OG on this side. Oh yeah, this one definitely like coats your face a little bit more than what the other side does. And the spray scent is definitely different. This side is wetter. This side dried down a lot faster. This side is still a little bit wet. So that's something to take note of, is that this side is still wet. It does feel cooling. This side did not have that cooling feature. It felt wet for like a second and then it just dried. So that's the 2 together. We're gonna like track this throughout the day so that we can see like how this works. I'm gonna put on my mascara and then we're gonna finish off the video. So as you guys saw from that clip, the original side of my face, it did stay cooler. It stayed a little bit wetter longer, and I did note that the spray was a little bit more, it's not as fine. The other side, the reformulated side, did not cool as, it like literally disappeared off of my face so quickly. I didn't even know that it was like it was dry instantly. That's not really necessarily a good thing, because denatured alcohol can actually dry out your skin and it can make your makeup look cakey. So we'll see how the 2 go throughout the day. But I did notice that the mist on the new formulation was much, much better. Like the actual spray down was way, way better. So just for science's sake, I'm going to spray my face one more time because I've been sweating and sitting under lights a little bit. We're just going to do a reapplication on each side. Yeah, that's definitely like wetter, and it's got a way better like cooling effect and feel to it on this side of the face. Wow, and it still is kind of like wet on this side, whereas this side it's not. It's pretty much gone. Now, in terms of the way that the face looks, it has about the same like glistening effect on either side of my face. And actually, this side of my face is still kind of like cool, like it still has that cooling feeling, that cooling sensation, and it's still a little bit wet on this side. So this is the old side. It looks a little bit glistening, a little bit glowy. I don't really notice anything with the makeup at all. It just looks like it's been set in place. This is the new side. I definitely have to say it does still have like that same glow about it. This side does feel like way more sticky than this. This side is like completely dry now, and it doesn't have like a sticky feel to it, whereas this side still feels kind of like sticky. And actually the makeup is transferring off, and it does claim to be transfer proof as well. After filming, I sat down in natural light and I photographed each side of my face with my iPhone 15 Pro Max front facing camera. I did notice that the new reformulation looked a little bit drier and the old reformulation looked a little bit blurry, and it just looked better overall on my face. Like it didn't feel so dry. I did notice also throughout the day when I stepped out to pick up my kids around 4 o'clock that my face felt so sucked dry on the side that was the new reformulation. And on the old formulation side, it definitely felt perfectly fine. Like it didn't feel super, super dry at all. It is 5:45, so I've been wearing this for 4 hours now. This is what the side looks like with the original. Pretty good. This is what the side looks like without the original. My under eyes look so dry. There is a lot to unpack in this last clip. What I definitely have to say is I noticed that the old reformulation seemed to just work better. My face didn't look as dry or as cakey as what the new reformulation did at the end of the night. I also noticed on the new reformulation side, my fine lines were way more pronounced, and the foundation had actually set into my fine lines, and it looked kind of like creasy and cakey on the new reformulation side of my face. On the old reformulation side of my face, I didn't see that at all. I honestly didn't see an over accentuation of my fine lines at all, and the foundation had not settled into my fine lines by any means and created any kind of like cakiness or anything like that. So that is definitely something that needs to be noted because I 100% saw a difference in the way that my fine lines were appearing on each side of my face. Final thoughts. The new reformulation is very drying, especially on somebody like me who has drier skin. Now, in the summertime, I tend to have a little bit more combo skin where my T zone gets really oily, but the rest of my face is still really dry. So, that is one thing that I noticed is that even with me having technically more oily skin, it still felt really drying to me. I think if somebody had like overall oily skin, it might help because it has a high concentration of the denatured alcohol in it, which is going to help keep your skin drier and it might help with oil control. I don't really know if that's true or not. Based on the ingredients, it might do the opposite with the glycerin. I don't know. But I really like the old formula. I think the old formula
it just performed so much better. I noticed that none of my product, it did not move on my face at all. I also noticed that it did not sink into any of my fine lines, especially on my forehead, whereas on the new side, my wrinkles were wrinkling, and like I had product that was like sinking into my wrinkles, like, and on the other side of my face with the old formulation, it wasn't doing that. So at the end of the day, I do not like the new reformulation from Urban Decay. I think it's really drying. I don't think it has that cooling technology that they claim that it has. I do, however, like the mister on the new bottle. I think that's honestly gorgeous. I think the packaging is gorgeous, but they should have kept the old formula. Now, keep in mind, you can buy the old formulation by Skindinavia on Skindinavia's website, and you can buy it on their Amazon. So I will have that linked in the description box down below for you. But thank you so much for watching this comparison between the two. And I hope that you guys consider subscribing before you go. And if you like content like this, where we do a really good deep dive into things like this, definitely make sure you subscribe. Bye.